I don't think there's a real way to get away from something not looking perfect the first time you try it. Because there aren't too many instances of people doing something for the very first time and excelling at it the very first time. You will look dumb. You will look stupid. You will feel stupid. It's going to feel unnatural, mainly because it's just not something that you're used to doing. However, it's going to come off as cringy or as weird to other people around you because you are that person that everyone has recognized a particular potential in. Right? They already know the potential that you have within you. And whether you would like to believe it or not, there are people checking for you. They're checking to see what you've been up to, what it is you've accomplished. They might forget about you for a couple months, for a couple years, and then they might remember you randomly someday and say, I wonder what's going on. Goes to Instagram to search up what is new in your life. And you might be thinking, me, insignificant, me? There's no way. Yes, there are people checking for you. The fear of looking like a beginner should not override the possibility of good results coming from you constantly showing up and being consistent in what it is that you want to do. Now, I get it. Socially, you don't want to look dumb. Socially, you don't want to look cringe because we're all social people. And regardless of whether you believe it or not, you also want to maintain a certain image of yourself in your own head. And you are afraid that if you do this thing and you fail at it, you're not going to live up to the level or the image of the person that you think you are and the image of the person you think other people think you are. So you would rather sit with whatever it is you currently have in front of you doing nothing with it than look stupid, because God forbid you make a couple mistakes. God forbid you're seen trying. For some reason, we feel as though it's embarrassing to try. It's embarrassing to try and not be an expert right off the bat. And that's where the entire thing gets messed up. Because it should never be about image when you're trying to dismantle a life that you are no longer happy with. Okay, I look crazy. I've gone through so many things from the beginning of this year. My life was flipped upside down, inside out, shaken. And I'm still here trying to pull myself together. But I would not let my fear of being embarrassed hold me back from making the kind of money I want to make, starting the business I want to start, building the type of relationships I want to build. I will not let my insignificant 5-second embarrassment stop me from achieving the goals that I have written down, that I've written in my books, in my journal, in my phone. I'm not going to let a 5-minute interaction with someone that I went to school with, and oh my gosh, at this point I probably thought I would have been doing something corporate. I would have been like a doctor, or I would have been like whatever. Oh my gosh, they're gonna see that I actually didn't do medicine. Okay, and what happens next? You go home, you feel like, oh wow, that was awkward. Okay, then do something about it. Make it so that the next time you run into someone from your past, from a past job, from school, wherever, make it so that the next time you run into someone, you have something to show for yourself. You're no longer a product of your procrastination, of your excuses, of your going in and then half-assing it. You're no longer a product of that, because you're actually going all in and leaving that embarrassment behind you. Being embarrassed and feeling bad for being perceived never got anyone anyway. You will be perceived. You don't want to. You probably don't want to, but you will be. That's life. If you say you want to get into a certain industry, there's only so much behind the scenes work you can do. Think of persons that work on movie sets, right? They're behind the camera. They're behind the equipment. No one is seeing their face on film, right? No one is expecting them to walk out on stage onto a press conference and answer interview questions about why this movie is so fantastic and why everyone should go watch this movie. And their life is not on display for the world because they're behind the scenes. But their name is still in the credits, yeah? In behind the scenes moments, when it is you see bloopers or whatever, you might catch a glimpse of them. They're gonna be perceived regardless. You're gonna see their name in the credits regardless. Someone has to know their name to write a check to pay them regardless. Being afraid to fail and being afraid to try is not going to get you to point B from point A. You can't sit and imagine yourself into a new era without doing the work that it takes to reach there. Faith without work is dead. As much as you need faith, you need work as well. You need a plan. You need a schedule. You need a goal. You need to break that goal down into smaller steps. You need a strategy. You need to begin to move in the direction of your dream life every day. Because if you don't, you simply won't get it. I've grown up around so many persons, so they would say things like, God, if you just bless me with $1 million tomorrow so I never have to work again, I would love that. And some of us may call this manifesting. What do you say when you know what it is you want, but you make absolutely no motion towards it whatsoever? You're just talking, right? Right? Aren't you just talking? And what sense does that make? What sense does it make knowing what it is you want and deciding not to go for it? And now you're stuck with the possibility of sitting back in the back row and watching someone else doing the same thing that you could have been doing. That could have been you on that stage. That could have been you in front of that audience. That could have been you behind that camera. That could have been you behind that page. That could have been you on that channel. That could have been you on that song. But also understanding that the path that you will have to take to reach that level that you're trying to get may be a little bit lonely. Don't expect everyone to understand when it is you are relentlessly going towards your goals. Sometimes you may have to do it in silence. Because when it is a goal is so big, even for you, it just seems so great and so grand. If it's big and it's great and it's grand to you, imagine when you tell someone else whose head wasn't even, their mind wasn't even going there. You said you wanted to start a business and they were thinking pastries or something. Not that you want to start an entire empire. You want to have chains. So expect some pushback. But don't let that be a reason for you to say, well, I don't have the support that I want, so I guess I'll give up now. Idiotic. Don't do that. And it's only odd because you've never seen yourself in this light before. You've never seen yourself being a business owner. You've never seen yourself being a content creator. You've never seen yourself in that light before. You don't know what that's like. You don't know what the day-to-day life is like. You could look at other people's daily life when it comes to it. But there's always going to be some little extra sprinkle of it that makes yours a little bit different. Maybe not vastly different, but it might make yours a little bit different. And because of that, the fear of the unknown comes into play. It's a lot safer when it is You know exactly, okay, at 8:01 this is happening, at 8:30 this is happening, at 9 this is happening, and at 10:30 this is happening. It's a lot easier when you have someone else has already written it down for you, written out your schedule and everything for you. It's a lot easier. It's a lot harder when you have to deal with that imposter syndrome of you going into this new place and not knowing how it's going to turn out. It's a lot harder. But it's only hard because you don't know what you don't know. You've never seen yourself here. You've never experienced this yet. You've never been in this room before. So yeah, it's going to be scary. You're going to feel nervous. You're going to want to shut down. But that brings me back to the first thing I was saying. If you stop now, you never know what you could have done.